evening, family. How you doing? Hope everybody's well. I'm Nyasha, your host from Blank Checks. Welcome to another week. Let me just move over this way. Apologies for the lateness today. I just had some things I need to sort out. And yes, welcome to our new time of 7:30. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a few more on for you guys to, be able to participate. Today we are going to be joined by the other two directors actually, which is quite exciting. And we're just looking to kind of divulge. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Deeper into what we're about, what we're trying to do, and that kind of thing. Similar to our first podcast, but so we're going to get straight into it. I've got a request already. I'm going to let one in and then also send the other. This will be the first time of us doing it, three of us as well.
Hi.
Hello, hey, okay.
Hi.
All three of us on. This is exciting. How you
Oh, I
doing?
know.
All about business, isn't it? Everything is.
Yeah.
Us the thing. I was just saying, sorry I was late. I just kind of got caught up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. I thought my.
No,
I
no, no,
thought it
no.
was me as
It's
well.
definitely
I was like,
not.
Yeah.
oh,
No, it usually comes on quite easily. No, it's all things business. Our topic today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just putting this on here. How are you, ladies?
I'm really
yeah,
not too bad.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
I forget that I can actually do
Um.
this before we. No. Yes, I was doing this wrong. Okay, there we go. All right, ladies. Thank you. So we've got Kadia, wave Kadia,
Hi.
Angelique, wave Angelique. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What was I going to say? I just kind of lost my train of thought on my head for a second there. These are the other two directors. That's what I was going to say. It's kind of hard to see you because the way Instagram's set up is that all the questions are at the bottom, which is where you guys are. So I can't see your faces
Right.
perfectly, but
Yeah.
I'll
I
to
can't
see me
see
on.
me either.
Yeah, but that's just how it is. So wow, we have made it almost a year. It's been
Yes.
almost a year since Blank Checks was born. So it was myself, Kadia, and Charlene who was on with us last week, Tim Tanner. And
Mm-hmm.
then Angelique, you joined us maybe a week. Was it a week or two?
Yeah.
Not more
It
than two
wasn't long
weeks
Yeah, it
after.
wasn't long. Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah. So you've been pretty much here from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an interesting journey. I mean, what would you say were the things that we needed to kind of set the foundation within the business? And welcome everybody too. Sorry, I lost my
Yeah.
manners. Welcome
Hi,
everybody
guys.
who's joined. Thank you.
I think for me, like when I joined Blank Checks and we were discussing what it was about and what it was going to be,
Yeah,
setting the foundation, it's such a big business, it's such a big project that I think a lot of it laid within our blueprint exactly how we were going to break down how we were going to launch this business, how we were going to set it up, because the
yeah,
size of it, like I said, it's huge. There's not many businesses like this that range into different aspects of other businesses. So for me, it was definitely about laying in on that blueprint and getting that right
yeah,
to give us the steps to help us
yeah,
set up. Yeah.
yeah. Anything you
Yeah.
want to add to that?
Um. Yeah. So basically, just ironing out everything that we wanted to achieve basically, and just making sure that we have that foundation to work
Yeah,
by, because it is such a great and varied project that we're taking on.
yeah,
So yeah, it's just laying the foundations right so that when everything is set up, we're sturdy, we're strong, and we have a clear direction.
yeah. So within the blueprint, I think it's safe to mention that there are 4 sections. God, you might have to
Mm-hmm.
remember to help. We haven't been looked at the blueprint for so long because we've been focused on one area. So we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the financial education side of things. Then
Yeah.
we used the inspiration of BLM, Black Lives Matters, but we actually called it Black Lifestyle Matters. Then
Mm-hmm.
we've got the charity, and there's another one. I feel like there's another element, but I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Yeah, I
Was it
think
just
that was
three?
the community-based one as well, community and
Yeah. Right.
services.
Charity, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the reason why I mention this was so just so you know that the audience knows that it's quite a varied project, and we decided to work on the financial aspect first because we
Mm.
feel, and step in, ladies, we feel like that's the thing that's lacking the most in our community. Knowing where our money is, knowing if we have enough of it, just that
Mm-hmm.
financial awareness and planning so that we
Mm-hmm.
can plan for the future and the generations to come and make sure that everybody has what they need. Um, so we decided to kind of start with that and literally master that part of the project before we move on to something else. But in the future, we want to work on some of the other, well, we will work on the other elements as well, because there's no
Yeah.
point in us having a business or services or people can buy or gain things from if they don't even necessarily have the finances to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So let's set you up so that you know where you can spend your money later. Do you know what I mean? I think we do enough
Mm-hmm.
spending as it is of the community. We're the biggest consumers, and we have the least to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we decided to do and focus there. So what do you think that what have some of the highlights been on the journey so far for you ladies?
For me, actually, it's some of the highlights is, for me personally, I would say, is the challenges that I've been able to face. It's like a personal growth for me because I have been in the system so long, where I am one of those people that weren't really good with my money, you know, go to my 9 to 5, you know, I was just in the system, wasn't aware, just going with the flow. So
Yeah,
coming up with this idea and sitting down with you ladies is kind of like opened up my mind and perspective and given me like a new way of looking at things, and how can we make things better, and actually going out and speaking to people and finding out what their experiences are, you know those kind of things.
mm,
Yeah, I think I agree actually. Just to echo what you said, I definitely feel it was definitely a point of personal growth, because I hadn't taken anything on of this size before. So this was new to me, and I'm someone who's quite a reserved person, as you guys know. I'm not like the big socialite like Nyasha, but
uh,
It's true.
yes, you are the socialite out of all three of us.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it really is, like I said, giving me those skills to just have the confidence to interact with people.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like I said, it's just growing within myself and obviously meeting you guys. So um, the original founder, Jim Tan and Charlene, um, I hadn't known. I still haven't met her in person to this day.
yeah, we
But
started
you
in the
guys were.
lockdown.
I know
Yeah.
it's crazy, right? Um, but when I met her and I saw the business plan and I listened to the way she taught, like I've told you guys 1,000 times, her mind just fascinates me. Like that
Yeah.
girl is a genius, you know, and I've got a lot of respect for what she created, and I'm very grateful that to be a part of something like this
Mhm.
that she created. So definitely props to her for doing this. And then yeah, just being able to work with you guys. So I think obviously Cade, we know each other personally as well, but we never really spent that time together. And again, it's just working with you, getting to know you. And the same with you, Naisha. I met you through Karen, through Genistar. And yeah, we've developed, like, even though it is a professional working relationship, we've developed a great relationship in that as well. And that's something that I would have never have come out my shell to do before.
Mhm.
So those are definitely the highlights for me.
And it's
Yeah,
really interesting that, all three of us all know each other through some platform before
Mhm.
business. It's really
yeah,
Mhm.
funny. Like,
yeah,
I met Angelique maybe 2 or 3 months before we started Black Checks. Kadia, I
yeah,
remember from probably about 20 years ago through Charlie and Jim Tanner. And then you two are family. So it's like,
yeah.
Mhm.
what would be
Exactly.
the likelihood of that happening?
Mm.
We all kind of know each other in some ways. So,
Yeah.
but I just feel like, I always say that nothing happens before it's time, everything for a reason, and what's meant to be will be. And I always
Definitely.
stand by that. And every time I hear that, I'm like, yeah, that's a strong foundation
Mhm.
for me. And it's like
Yeah,
Mhm.
letting go of what can be, what could be, and what was, and just going
yeah,
with the flow and just
right.
allowing life, if you like, to just happen the way that it's supposed to, because everything happens in
Mhm.
its divine time for a reason. So it's really interesting, and we, I have three principles. I always say to people that I feel that I want people to adhere to if you're going to be in my life, and that is honesty, respect, and communication. And
Mhm.
those are foundations that we actually set that with the business right at the beginning. We had to do that. We were like, okay, let's
Right.
set some kind of not ground rules, but some, what would you call them? Like foundation kind of. I'm gonna use rules for the lack of a better word. I can't think of another word at the
Mhm.
moment, but just something that we could
Yeah,
all adhere to. If we ever had a problem, we're gonna say, we're gonna be honest with each other. We were gonna adhere to
yeah,
communicate, and we were always gonna be respectful, mindful of each other. And
Mhm.
there are times where, we have had to do that because it's not always been easy, but we've been
no,
able to. We're still here a year later, which is amazing.
right, right.
Mhm.
We're on a
Mm-hmm.
path and we're working together, and we gel really well as well. And if we have an issue, we say we've got an issue, you know. And other than that, sometimes we sit on a call that we have. For those that don't know, we have a call every Sunday for 3 hours, and we've been
Yeah,
doing that since April. Now there may be
Mhm.
a week here or there that we don't do, and we do take one Sunday off a month because we have families. Um, but we have been consistent with the course. And
yeah,
another
definitely.
reason for this call is so that people can see that there are things that we are doing. We don't just want to be a business that is talk, but
No,
saying that and the scale of what we're trying to do, there is a lot of talk that happens. But I actually
Mhm.
feel like we're making some headway now. We're starting to get a bit more direction. We have a research group as well. We also have a WhatsApp number, so social media number. So I can probably link that in the group. Actually, somebody might have to send it to me personally first, and I've got it in my phone somewhere. So I can put it in the group maybe. Um, and yeah, so it's been good. What are the pitfalls? What have been the pitfalls for you guys, if any?
Go on, Ange.
Uh, the pitfalls, I think, has definitely been because this is a learning point for all of us.
Yeah.
There has been times where we've been like, yeah, 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 we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Then it's like, oh, hold on, rewind, pull it back, and start again. Do you know what I mean? Because we are learning as we're developing the business. Um, and I think that's everything that's normal within most businesses. There's always going to be an aspect of it that you didn't take into consideration that you didn't know. But I think, like again, just touching in on, because we're trying to do such a big thing, such a big project, loads of different projects in different aspects of finance. You're just, yeah, the scale of it is huge, and we're not going to know it all. And so I think definitely the pitfalls have been thinking we can run in one direction and do something, but actually having to stop, rethink our plan, you know, and just change how we go about things. Yeah, and then, like you said, you spoke about research when we had to put the questionnaires out to our members, just to get a feel of what is actually out there, what are people actually thinking about finance. So again, it's about doing the research and really, really learning the business. So that for me is our pitfall.
It's funny because I think that pitfall can also be a strength, because I feel like the only pitfall in that is that we're not gonna get to that end goal now, but having it, but it's the strength in that is that we're actually learning that thing, because that's how we kind of grow a business. That's how you learn. By having a goal and realizing the steps. And sometimes you might sort of get straight to 100, but actually you need to go back to number 2, you know, and learn those things along the way. So I think they can be a bit of both. What was you going to say, Kadia?
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same as Ange. I agree. But also the fact that we can't meet because of this lockdown, I think that, I don't know if it's had like a detrimental effect on anything that we do, but I just think that that's probably one of the things that if I could change, it would be to physically meet up with you girls instead of over. I think so that's one of the things.
Sorry to cut you.
I was
saying, do you remember when we met up at Nyasha's and we did that brainstorming and the ideas were flowing? We got so much done. You know, we did that on like 2 or 3 occasions, and it really, really worked. Whereas I think even though we meet online and it is video, there's still something missing.
It's that energy and that vibe that you pick off of somebody when you're with them. That's the only thing that I think that we're missing. But that being said, I think we've done great. Like
we also have another meeting that we do a week as well. So we meet twice a week, Thursdays as well, for about an hour and a half as well. So, you know, that takes their shared, you know, I think it takes a lot of dedication. And you two both have your own separate businesses and you have full-time jobs as well. I'm the one that's living life of luxury. But you guys are the ones that are rich. You know, but, you know, so how is it for you guys from that perspective? And talk a little bit more about your personal businesses that you do as well.
Well, for me,
and search, even though she's with us anymore.
I can see she's not with us. Ange. Oh, you're there, Ange.
You're there? Yeah. It just kind of froze for me a minute.
Yeah.
Did
you catch the question?
Is she gone again?
No, I don't think so. You answer in the meantime.
Yeah, so what I would say, like, trying to make time for, you know, blank checks, for me, I put it quite high on my priority. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
I do put it quite high on, oh, shoot. Sorry. I'm just showing you my printer. I do put it quite high on my priority list. I do work full-time, and I do have my other business. If anyone wants to go and check it out, trendsbyjmon.com.
By Jmon, I'll link it in the description as well.
Yeah.
What is Trends by Jmon?
So Trends by Jmon is a female women's clothing store. We do the nice high fashion, celebrity inspired fashion, dresses, I'm really passionate about that, and I spend a lot of time also working on that and trying to make that great for my customers. It takes a lot. That takes up a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
But it's also something that I'm quite passionate about, and it's just juggling and making time for me. It's just making the time to do what I plan to do.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Ange?
Annoyingly, can you just repeat the question since
No,
I...
no, it's fine. I thought you said it. It's fine. So I was saying, how do you kind of juggle your own personal business? Talk a little bit about your businesses as well, and what's it been like for you as, mom, full-time worker, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it is hard, and I think I am always busy. Like, it feels like I don't stop. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing for me is organization. For example, like you said, I do work a 9 to 5, and I'm very strict with that I'm only contracted to work 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock, I will leave. There has been a few times where I have stayed till like 6 and that, but for the most part, as soon as I see 5 o'clock, I have to shut off because I have to deal with the kids. I have to like take that break and recoup before, like if it's a Thursday, and then jump on a call with
Yeah.
you guys. With managing the business as well. So the business is called Apex, Apex Hair and Beauty to be precise. I came up with the idea, well, I always thought about it to be honest, and I had the idea a long while before I actually implemented it. And then I think one day I was shopping in Pax or Shabra, one of the high street hair shops,
Yeah.
and I just got fed up, to be honest. I mean, yeah, they sell great products, and yeah, they can provide us, mainly the Black community, with what we need. But I feel like it was the customer service aspect that was lacking for me. And then I think it was just me getting fed up of, one, being overpriced for these products, and two, not receiving the customer service when you're spending your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
That did it for me. So I came back and I told my partner and I told my brother and sister, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And anyone who knows my partner, he's like that heads on guy. So we were there bouncing around with names, and then he came up with Apex, and then it just stuck. So yeah, it's basically a hair and beauty product store online.
Yeah.
So basically everything that you can find in your local Pax or Shabba, that's basically what I do. But I feel like I've brought it up to a better class, like
Yeah.
just to a
People are
higher
definitely
standard.
recognizing it. As I said to you earlier, I met someone who had heard of the business, and at that point, I was like, I need some
Yeah,
cards really to give out. Do you know what I
right.
mean? So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling her.
And I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
so I think for me, it really was just about selling to our community, because I think another problem that I found buying from Pax and Shabba, they don't know nothing about us, or our type of hair, particularly, especially with Black people. Our hair varies in so many different ways. And
yeah.
you would go in there and you ask them a question and they'll just say, oh, yeah, this one, just because they want you to buy, not that they're actually taking it into consideration. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that as well, I really, really wanted to I just think if it's our products we're buying, we should be selling them. There's a market there that we should be providing that service to our community, not to
Absolutely.
take away from Pax or Shab. I think everyone has to do their thing, but I was really passionate about sharing, having a bit of that market and sharing that with my community to a high standard. So that like I was saying, having a good support network around me helps me to manage the business as well. Because while I'm working a 9 to 5, I can't always process orders. My partner will step in and process orders. It might mean him collecting the kids, or it might mean one of my brothers or sisters doing something.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of designated in different aspects of the business, which allows me to work full time and manage the business and be a part of Blank Checks as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
know sometimes I don't always have it underhand, and like,
Mhm.
it is hard. There is
It's
times
really
where I'm
right.
just tired, and
Mhm.
there's time, but ultimately I'll say being organized and having an amazing support network, which I'm so grateful for. And when people say organization, it sounds so simple. It sounds
Mhm.
like, yeah, just be organized. But actually,
Yeah.
being organized is so much harder than
Yeah.
is it. It's a simple word, but it's
Mhm.
easier said than
Yeah,
done, for
true.
definite. Um, so I really have to be disciplined in waking up early, structuring my day, just so I can be sure to
Yeah.
to get everything done,
Mhm.
and that's how I do it. Yeah.
Take a leaf out of your book, that's for sure.
You do the same thing. You keep us all in line.
Yeah, but you guys have so much more doing. I mean, we're all busy. We're all busy doing our own stuff. I'm learning a new hobby at the moment, but we're all busy doing stuff. You guys are definitely. I'm sitting here and I'm really tired today. I've pushed myself quite hard, but we're all doing that. What would you say?
Can you,
Or
sorry to cut you, can you tell us about your experience? I don't know if you said it while I was off, but just a bit about your background in the trading and, yeah,
so
sorry, I
my
put you on the spot.
so my background is actually in youth and community work. That's where I kind of started off career wise, and watching the young people and working with them, and just seeing young people grow, and being an influence in their life. Because I think for me, I feel I was put on this earth to help people,
Yeah,
in one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? And that's always been my theme. And teaching, something to do with teaching, has always been there somewhere. I mean, I home educated my daughter. I've worked in Saturday schools. I've worked in schools. Worked in youth clubs. So I've always kind of done something teaching. But I want to teach somebody something. What my thing is all about impartaking knowledge onto other people that they can grow and better themselves. It's always about bettering themselves in some way or another.
yeah,
And then I landed in a financial education business, which I learned about finance, which I'd never known before, and what different things of finance was incorporated, debt management, retirement plans, things I just wasn't thinking of, having an insurance policy that if anything happens to myself or my family, we're covered. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, if I passed away, I would have thought, and it still took a couple of years to be like, well, if I passed away, what would have happened to myself and my children financially?
mm,
How to be, how I was going to get buried and so on and so forth, how to clear my debt, how to manage my money better.
mm,
Um, and then I kind of fell into cash effects. You saw Pauline on a few weeks ago. Um, and cash effects has been a great income, and a way and a platform that other people can get into to either build or bring in an income for themselves or both. And then just from there, my mind has just continued to expand around finances. And I was having this conversation with my sister earlier on today. Financial education is something that we're just really lacking in our community.
definitely.
And I really want that to change, because there may be people that have lots of money, but just not managing it well, or, not teaching enough people how to. The generations are not passing these things down, and some of the generations don't even know it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I decided as well that through this Cash Effect is a trading platform where you don't have to do anything, a company's doing it for you. And I thought, well, what would happen if I learned to do this myself? Maybe I can bring in some more money. And so I'm a student in the world of trading, learning to do that myself, because I felt like although I'd done all these things, I didn't really have something tangible that I could, if I need to make money one day, I can just go into. So I just kind of thought that would be a nice skill for me to have and master, and I can even pass that down to my children, you know. So that's kind of how I got on here. And then obviously into blank checks, and it's just become, every day it's just become more of a passion about teaching people about financial education, teaching people how to really have an economic structure in the UK specifically, because that's where I am. So that we can have a voice in our country. We don't have to endure racism the way that we do so much. It may be slightly lessened if we have a stronger platform that we're working with, that we're working more cohesively as a community, whether we're from the diaspora or we're from the motherland, you know, that we can find a way to gel with the same goal in mind, that we are Black people that deserve to know and have better for ourselves and our family. And statistics show that people that have more income have a better chance of survival and livity. You know, they have a better living standard. You know, and I feel that that is fair within our community as well as anybody else's. But we have to create it. It's not something that we can just have handouts or keep asking for, because it's almost like they thrive off it, I think. So let's have our own standard, have our own backing, have our own stuff, just like with you, Apex, you know, with the hair company, that we're not, it's going back to Najla as well. She was on the call a few weeks ago, talking about the house, and the house is a metaphor for the country you live in and how it was built for those people or that community. But we can work in it and we can be a part of it, but we can't get to the top in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, we need to create our own, that we can do whatever we want within our own, because there's only so far we'll get in somebody else's house. You know, so why not put it back into our own, that we can build and we can have and we can do, and that we create in the future for our children and children's future. Dwayne, have you got your hand up? I just think is that, are you mean, or do you want to ask a question? You can ask a question.
You want to ask a question?
But this is, you know, it's become, as you can hear, I'm very passionate about this, you know, and I'm learning too. I don't want anybody to feel like, okay, doesn't got a couple questions. Right. I'll take it you agree then. But I'm learning too. I'm learning with everybody else. I wouldn't say I was there. I'm not perfect, you know, but I am definitely learning. And you know something, I think I might even invite Charmaine or Mark from Black History Studies, because Charmaine has a degree in economics, and she's also become an executive vice president in the company that I used to do financial education in as well, and I've known her a long time. So she'd be another one to add another level about with this. But I just feel really passionate about my community, you know. And for people that may label us as racist, let me just say that we're race first. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being race first, because every other race is about their own before they're about anybody else's. And we need to embrace who we are, remember who we are, respect who we are, so that we can respect each other and build, because it can be done. You know, so I just want to put that out there as well. So yeah, so I was gonna ask what skills, and also before I ask this question, just to give another level. So a few years ago, I also started another business called Kinetic Root Services. I'm a services kind of person. You know, I want to put something out there that people can learn. So that was about Black women in the community who endured trauma. And it's still a work in progress. Slow going. It's been on the back burner for a little while, but something I want to pick up. So the reason why I mention that is because a lot of the skills that I learned in that, I've been able to put into blank checks. Some of the things I've forgotten, and they've come up, and I've been like, oh, yeah, I forgot about those different things, like looking at, what's our thing we're looking at? Branding, for example, you know, just like things like that. So I've learned that. So the reason why I mention it is because I want to ask you guys, is there anything in your own businesses that you have gained or learned that you've been able to put into blank checks?
I think, I think for me, I think having the experience of running a business has given me some insight on how to, which is giving me transferable skills that I can apply into blank
Mm-hmm.
checks. Also, as well, as you guys know, like I have a legal background, and yes, I specialize in primarily childcare. I've obviously had to study in law. I've had to cover it all, so I kind of have a good overview on the law in general, and I feel like I apply that. Like, for example, when it comes to contracts and the
Mm-hmm.
agreements we make, I can apply it that way and just make sure everything we do, one, protects us, and two, that we stay above water and don't get ourselves into any trouble. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Angie's our
Yeah.
contracts person.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Kadia?
Yeah, for sure. Probably the thing that I can take away from my business outside of blank checks is it's a good question.
So what have
Probably,
you learned from, doing trends that you've been able to put in
yeah.
like checks, kind of?
So I think for me personally, it's how to approach people to approach people from a different perspective and not to put labels on people.
Just put them on your
Sorry?
Just put them on your clothes.
Yeah, put them in my clothes. Yeah. Yeah. So I just think the thing is like basically just the way in which you approach people. So the way, for example, the customer service side of it as well. I can bring that into blank checks. It's also given me, working on my stores, also given me the confidence to speak to people, to approach people and go, come outside of my comfort zone. Yeah. I have to deal with people on a daily basis that's asking questions, even though sometimes they're a bit annoying if if I'm truthful, but it's learning how to deal with those kind of people and being in that situation where you have to answer questions and not fob anyone off and try and put yourself in like their shoes and where they're coming from and their perspective. So with that, you can always be open-minded when dealing with people and situations.
I
For
think as
me,
well, Prin, you're
mm.
the creative person of the team, because when it
I
comes
was
to our
waiting for
ads
this so I could
and our
say that.
videos
Yeah,
and putting stuff together, like me and Asha don't have those skills. Like, you lot know me, I'm a granny when it comes to social media,
Technology, me too.
videos, and all of this stuff. But you're without your creativity, we wouldn't have none of that, and that is
mm.
definitely a strong
And
point
I
that's
think
needed in.
I've picked up some of that as well. Yeah, from
Yeah,
running my own
Paid
store.
herself.
Yeah,
Yeah, she paid herself down, people. She paid herself well down.
played it right
All
down.
the
I'm sitting
all
there
the
like,
advertising stuff for the podcast, Kadia does it. I've never touched it. I don't know how to do it. I send her the pictures and what I want it to be called, and she
yeah,
does it in 5 minutes. She'll be like, "Yeah, I'll do it when I get home from work." An hour later, she sent it to me because she's probably bored or had 5 minutes. She just does it straight away, and it goes up. I can advertise. She does all of that. She's the social media queen. She has shown us how to use certain platforms and things like that to help us advertise and put a post up on Instagram.
yeah,
We don't have, or even know where to start.
yeah.
She does e-commerce. We both kind of do e-commerce to some degree, but you do the whole e-commerce thing with your clothing line and things like that. So you pay yourself down, girl.
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
what I do
You
then.
forgot about
Yeah.
all the videos, stuff, pictures. Kadia does that.
Yeah,
So, we work really well as a team. We all bring something unique. We all bring something different, and it just works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't know what else where else we want to go. Where else we want to go tonight? I mean, we're on 40
I want to
minutes.
go to the future now. Where are we going? I want to
Where
know.
are we going? That's a good
Tell the
point.
people where we're going now.
So in the meantime,
Huh?
host this thing, but
You're the host, isn't it?
So currently we're working on putting some kind of financial plan together. But and I was filling Kadia into our call yesterday as well, so she's fully up to the bench. And it's funny because this is how these guys work, right? And this is why it's good having three people as well, because there may be two people that agree with one thing and one person that doesn't. And we always say the majority will. So one of the things we were saying was that we wanted to do something where, and I'll just break it down so that we understand, but you guys will get to know when it's built, that we do education and questions. And Anne said, actually, I think it'd be better if we do it the other way around. I spoke to Kadia, she said the same thing. I'm outvoted, it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we work. We say the majority rule. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice how we kind of work on the same page, and it usually makes sense in the long run anyway. To just things like that. So we're doing that. We want to build a website eventually where people will be able to buy packages depending upon their price, their budget, and it would open up their world to lots of different various information. So each package will have different things in there, and it really is going to be focused a lot around mindset. Mindset's a huge thing, financial education, and really community cohesion. Bringing us together as a community. Having our own kind of platform in terms of a marketplace and a place where people have as reference and things like that as well. So those are the things that we're currently working on at the moment. They take a lot of work. We've also got Cash FX as well, which I've told people about before. We've had Pauline on, as I mentioned earlier. Cash FX is a platform where you can buy a contract. It kind of works like if you was going to go to the bank and you said to the bank, like, I want to put this amount of money in to get a return. Like that. The difference with what I would say the difference is that banks don't give you any return, where Cash FX are going to give you a minimum of 5% a week. And there's more levels to that as well. So it's something worth looking into. We have our own blank checks account, which is there for the community. If the community want to come on board and they want to build an income for themselves and their family, they can come and do that. And just private message us and we can get back to you and give you some more information about that. Pauline, who was on a few weeks ago, does a call most days of the week that you can jump on and get more information about her. She's really good. So that's one thing. We've also got another thing called Smart Money Investments. Again, join us in our DMs. We'll DM you back, give you some more information about that as well. So yeah, we're working on things to bring the community together and give you guys an opportunity to harvest your money, get your minds right, do something different, plan for your future and your family's future, and work together.
Well said.
That's what the immediate future looks like for now. We also want to get our followers up. Please send this out to other people so they can understand what it is we're doing. Get more people. We want to have more people on the podcast. If you guys want to join us and have a question and answer with me, feel free to. You may see one of the other ladies hosting at some point in the near future. The podcast.
What was that?
I look in the jar.
You
never know. Anything can happen, and it's not just about me. I'm happy to kind of, you guys can do it. It was something that I came up with as a way to engage with the community, bring some more traffic into what it is that we're doing, give you guys another perspective from other people's perspective. Get your own information. There's always something that you can take from someone, you know. That's what the podcast is here to do. And there's no frills. I'm just an ordinary regular girl. I'm not trying to suit and boot myself some microphone and all that. Things may improve as we go along, but right now this is the best platform to think of in lockdown that was going to be easiest without having to edit and do all that kind of stuff. So that's why I use the IG Live platform. So come on board, man. Come and talk to me. Give me an honest opinion. Tell us what you think. This project is for you. You know, it's about making sure that everybody has what they need if they want it. Because we're not here to force anything down anybody's throat. We're not just about money. We just want people to be in good stead and good health. And yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good fun. I've actually really loved Blank Checks is always in my head.
Yeah.
Blank Checks
Same
and
here.
and now learning to skate. Rather soft. But it's okay. I hope you'll remember don't fall there again because it's gonna hurt. But hey, that's another conversation for another day. But next week we are going to be joined by the Dwayne who was in the comments with his hand up. He's an explorer. We call him Dwayne the Explorer. And he's very wise. Looking forward to speaking to him. You're guys are gonna get to meet him next week. So the post will be up for that shortly. And yeah, we'll keep it coming. Please share, subscribe. Would you subscribe on Instagram or that's a YouTube thing? We
Follow,
get to YouTube.
Share, and like. Follow, share, and like.
See, I told you she's the internet queen.
Video queen. What she does.
Yeah. So please do. And until next week, 7:30. I think 7:30 is a better time. I'm gonna see how this goes.
Yeah.
A few weeks and then make a judgment.
Thank you. Thank you guys in the comments. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're much appreciated. My sister was on the calls today. We had partners on the call today. We had other people. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
We do. Thank you.
Yeah.
So until then, have a good week. And I always quote from Tabitha Brown, who actually won an award for the NAACP? Is that what they call it in America? I don't even know what it stands.
Yeah.
But she won the personality, the social media personality of the year award, and she's fantastic. She's such a humble sister, you know, with her afro. She called it Donna. So check her out, Tabitha Brown. And she's a real inspiration, and she always says, you know, you guys have a lovely week or a lovely day, but if you can't, don't you dare go messing up anybody else's. And I love that.
Amen to that.
So, inspiration. Yeah. So with that, I bid y'all good night, and I'll see y'all next week.
All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.